Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll talk about my move to Canada. So if you'd like to move to Canada or anywhere else in the world, so if you're moving from your home country to another country, you can listen to this video while I share some tips and some advice on how I made my move, and if you're trying to make a similar move like me, how you can go ahead and do so. Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Shanetel, my brand is Shenpunky, and this is Shen's. First thing you'd have to think about is, what do you want to do in this country that you're going to? Like, are you coming there to be student? Are you coming there to be a worker? Are you planning to live temporarily there? Or do you want to move there permanently? Do you want to become a permanent resident in this country? Are you planning to change your citizenship? So you have to think about why, why do you want to come here and what are you going to do while you're here? Then after you have that figured out, then the next thing you're going to do is figure out if you're qualified to do that move. So if you want to become a worker, are you qualified to work in the industry that you'd like to work in this new country? Are you coming here as a student? Are you qualified to apply for a school and to get accepted here? If you're coming here as a seasonal worker, are you qualified as a seasonal worker that they're currently looking for? So you have to see if you're qualified to do what you want to do when you get here. So if you want to become a permanent resident, are you qualified to become a permanent resident? And you can find out these things by just going online and just doing a quick Google search on requirements. Like, what are the requirements to become a student in Canada? What are the requirements to become a worker in Canada? What are the requirements to become a seasonal worker in Canada? A farm worker in Canada? What are the requirements to become a permanent resident in Canada? And the list goes on. So after you've figured out, are you qualified? The next thing you have to do is, if you're not qualified, go ahead and get those qualifications that you need. Go ahead and do what you need to do in order to be qualified to make that move. So if you want to become a farm worker, but you have no experience in farming, go ahead and get that experience in farming. Then you can apply. So after you've gained your qualifications, then now is the time for you to gather those documents that will show that you're qualified. So gather your documents. See the list of documents that you would need in order to apply for this. Now, if you're doing the paper-based, you have to know what the payment method is. So you have to pay for it by the bank, or you have to pay for it online. So you also have to bring this receipt with your application when you're going to the application center. If you're doing like an online application, then you're able to apply online with your Visa card or a MasterCard. So if you can use your card online, then you're able to pay for your application using your card. Also remember that you have to have a scanner, so you have your documents as e-copies to be uploaded. You can use a PDF format, or you can use picture formats when you are applying online. So after your application has been approved, then you will be thinking about actually moving to Canada and life in Canada. Now you have to think about the three main things I thought about is housing, transportation, and a job if you don't have a job, or if you didn't come here as a worker and you came here as a student. So as a student, you're able to work up to 20 hours part-time while you're in school, and when you're on breaks, you are able to work your 40-hour work week. So that's 20-hour work week while you are in school. So for housing, I have to do a whole video on housing, because housing in Toronto can get a little bit difficult, and you would need to have some time to divulge into getting the house, where to look and what questions to ask, and then things that I found out after actually renting places. So I'll do a separate video on housing. For transportation, you have two means, really, either public or private transportation. If you're going to do private transportation, meaning that you're going to have your own car, you would need your driver's license. So ensure that you have the documents that you need to bring here when you are going to apply for your driver's license. Now, if you're going to take the bus, I would suggest that you get a Presto card. A Presto card is a bus card that you can upload your money on it and pay for your transit. So you're able to travel on 4 different transit: the Brampton Transit, the Toronto Transit, the Mississauga Transit, and the Vaughan Transit. And this pretty much covers the GTA. So you can use your Presto card for at least 2 hours on every fare. So when you pay your fare, you're able to travel 2 hours on that fare, on that bus fare. So that's kind of cool. So get a TTC if you're not gonna get a car. Also, something that you need to know is that you need to know the intersections. So the bus will tell you the intersection that you need to get off at. So if you're going to go to 560, for example, 560 Wilson Ave, you need to get the intersection of that address. So Google will tell you that that's where the place is at, but you also need to know what intersection you're supposed to come off at, because that's when you get off the bus. Know your intersections. I didn't do that and then I got lost. So I got off the bus when it said like Wilson Ave, but I should have gotten off the bus at the intersection, because when you hear the name of the address, that just says that you're going onto that main road. And the province is all about the main roads, and all the roads run right across the GTA and Ontario. So come off at the intersection. So remember, know what intersection you're getting off at. Also, know what intersection you live at, so you know exactly how to tell someone, this is where I live, or this is where you can find me. So if you have any questions, please leave your questions down below and I'll be sure to answer them. If you have anything that you'd want me to explain a little bit further on, you can also leave those questions down below. Any questions at all you have, just leave your comments down below. And remember, if this video was helpful in any way to you, I would just want you to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, share the video with your friends, your family, and on all your social media. And you can also join me on my social media by following me on Instagram at ShenPunky, or liking my Facebook page, which is ShenPunky, and add me on Snapchat at ShenPunky. So all my information will be in the description box, as well as the links that we spoke about will also be in the description box. If there is anything else that you'd like me to talk about, go ahead and leave those comments down below. Remember to like, remember to share. With great risk comes great experiences. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.